In the luxurious Geoffrey mansion, a grand dinner was happening. Mr. Geoffrey, one of the richest businessmen in the country, sat at the head of the table. Beside him was his only son, Ethan Geoffrey. Ethan was handsome, successful, and every rich family wanted their daughter to marry him. That night, 3 wealthy families had brought their daughters to meet Ethan. Beautiful dresses, expensive jewelry, perfect smiles. But Ethan looked bored. Suddenly, the door opened. A young girl walked in quietly carrying a tray of drinks. Her name was Lila. She was the gardener's daughter, helping her father at the mansion. Her dress was simple. Her shoes were old. As she served the drinks, one of the rich girls laughed softly. "Why are servants walking around during dinner?" Lila lowered her head. But then something unexpected happened. Ethan stood up and pointed directly at Lila. "That's the woman I want to marry." The entire room froze. Everyone at the table burst into laughter. Lila felt so shocked and embarrassed. As Ethan walked over to her, Mr. Geoffrey slammed the table. "Ethan, stop joking." But Ethan looked serious. "I'm not joking." Lila looking shocked. Sir, I think you're mistaken." But Ethan smiled. "I'm not." The rich girls looked furious. One of them stood up angrily. "You're choosing a poor girl over us?" Mr. Geoffrey's face turned red. "Ethan, do you know who her father is?" "Yes," Ethan said calmly. "He's the most honest man who works here." The room became silent. But Mr. Geoffrey gave a cold order. "Leave this house immediately." Lila thought he meant her, but he was looking at Ethan. 2 weeks later, shocking news spread across the entire city. Ethan Geoffrey had left his father's mansion. He walked away from the family name, the luxury cars, the private jets, the powerful Geoffrey empire. People were stunned. News headlines exploded everywhere. Billionaire's son disowned. Ethan Geoffrey loses everything for a poor girl. Social media was ruthless. Some called him foolish. Others said he had destroyed his future. Many believed Lila had ruined his life. But there was one thing the world didn't know. Ethan had been preparing for this moment for years. Quietly, patiently. While everyone believed he depended on his father's wealth, Ethan had secretly built his own company. A tech company no one connected to the Geoffrey name. No family influence. No family money. Just his own ideas. And his own risk. Then suddenly, the impossible happened. The company was sold. For hundreds of millions of dollars. The announcement shocked the entire business world. Reporters rushed to cover the story. Cameras lined up outside a massive press conference. People were desperate to hear Ethan speak. Was it true? Had he really built a fortune without his father? Then the doors opened. The room fell silent. Ethan stepped onto the stage. Confident, calm, and holding someone's hand. It was Lila. The same girl everyone once mocked, the same girl they called a servant, now standing beside him. Flashlights exploded across the room. Reporters shouted questions. "Why did you choose a poor girl when you could marry anyone?" The entire room went silent. He looked at Lila for a moment. Then he smiled and said something that shocked the whole room. "She was the only person who treated me like a normal man before she knew I was rich." The reporters looked confused. One of them quickly asked, "What do you mean she didn't know you?" Ethan smiled slightly. "Because the first time we met, she had no idea who I was." The room grew quiet again. It was a few years ago, outside my father's mansion. Lila had come to visit her father. I happened to be outside that day. We started talking. She treated me like I was just another person. No special treatment. No fear. No interest in money. He looked at Lila again, and every time I came home, I would see her when she visited her father. I watched how she treated everyone the same way. The gardeners, the drivers, the workers. The same kindness every single time. Ethan smiled softly. That's when I knew she was different. Months later, Mr. Geoffrey visited a brand new luxury building in the city. The sign outside read, "Lila Foundation helping poor families." Inside the building were schools, food programs, and shelters. Mr. Geoffrey walked in slowly, and there, standing at the entrance, was Lila, but she looked different now. Confident, respected. Mr. Geoffrey spoke quietly. You could have taken revenge on us. Lila smiled gently. My father taught me something. Being poor doesn't mean being small. Then Ethan joined her, and together they opened the doors for hundreds of poor families. The same girl they once laughed at had become the reason many people would survive.